Howdy all, I'm Adam Renaissance Third, and welcome to Dune Prophecy Episode 5 Review, the penultimate episode where they're setting up nothing. The show is an abomination of boring, and I say abomination because as I think I predicted earlier, or at least I touched on it, maybe I didn't predict it, but this is also the origin story for abominations. Because they actually call something an abomination. Let's see. Here we are. As I said, this is penultimate episode. Thank God this is almost over. And I want to remind people, whether you're angry at me because I actually like Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson, or you're angry at me because I shit all over this crappy thing, this isn't even Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. This is taking some characters they created and not even following their proper stories. That's what this is. I remind you, this is pure fan fiction. Yes, Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson both signed off on this, but wouldn't you for an easy paycheck? Well, maybe I wouldn't, because I will always own my entire IPs. I'm never going to sell out to anybody else. I will control what I do. Point is, even though they signed off on it, this still isn't actually their stuff. So either way, this show isn't real. It isn't real. It's covering events that have never been written down or documented by either Frank or Brian and Kevin. So let's just remind us of that. Going forward, we're going to burn through this as quickly as possible because guess what? It continues the 5-episode trend of bloated and boring where they try to make it look like things are happening, but nothing really does. In its continued attempt to be Game of Thrones, when it should not be trying to copy Game of Thrones because Game of Thrones copied Dune. Right, we're going to divide this into two parts. What goes on Wallach 9 and what goes on in Seleucus Secundus, because as usual, they're separated. One doesn't necessarily interact with the other. A classic sign of bad modern-day TV writing and production. Anyway, okay, Wallach 9. We're in the fallout of Tula having little girl who's an abomination wake up, and there's unrest in the sisterhood where a lot of the girls can't handle their communal nightmare and they're all leaving, and old lady's sister is trying to tell Tula that there's a problem, but Tula don't want to listen because Tula's busy trying to deal with the fact that she's got an abomination on her hands, even though they haven't named it yet. But old lady at some point is going to say, "What is that abomination?" when she gets a shot of like little girl who's got Raquella in her head later on. So I'm going to say this is the origin of abominations in Dune. Once again, they're kind of just taking shit and saying, this is how we're going to say it came to be. Fan fiction. Right. So Tula's going to get this fugly chick involved in trying to help little brown girl who's got Raquella in her from freaking out because they were besties at some point, I guess. And she's going to help her out. And at one point, she's going to be telling her, you're okay. And then she's going to go, I know I'm okay. I'm Raquella. So Raquella is going to take over her body, which is real. That's what happens when you cannot control the myriad of lineage going on in your head when you're an awakened sister or anybody who's taken the water of life, whether it's in utero or either way. If you can't control the voices, they will take you over. But a strong personality, a strong dead soul can rein things in and take over. See Vladimir Harkonnen and Alia. Anyway, right. So Raquel is going to wake up and she's going to go to Fugly Girl and Tula, say, let me do my research, this and that. And long story short of a lot of boring, drawn-out shit, they discover that whatever Travis Fimmel is doing to people is some sort of machine retrograde virus that is still in people's brains, even though everybody who died were like a century removed from the war against the machines, from the jihad. So it's retarded. As I said, old lady sister's going to bust them and call her an abomination. And then at one point, Raquel is going to have to give it up, and she's going to go lie down, and Now it's just regular old little brown girl again is going to talk with Fugly Chick about, I'm so tired, it's hard, blah, blah. I wasn't really listening at this point. And then during all this, they got Desmond Hart's blood, and that's Travis Fimmel, and Toola's supposed to scan it. And at the very end of the episode, where all this shit's going on, it's jumping back and forth, Toola's going to discover that he's her bastard that she gave up. She's a Harkonnen. He's a Harkonnen and an Atreides. Oh my God! It's as though we're replaying everything that's already happened in real Dune, because Paul Atreides is a Harkonnen and an Atreides. He's a mix. So it's just it's terrible and it's stupid. And I'm not even sure because I don't remember. I read the book very quickly between physical and audio. Tula, as we saw in this crap version, yeah, she effed the Atreides dude she murdered along with the village. But in the books, they were just betrothed. They were never married, so I don't know if they even effed and she even had a kid. I'd have to go back and check that. Granted, I should know it, but I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. Right, so I don't even know it's real, but either way, Desmond is her kid. I still say that because of this, it's going to put them on the track of trying to create a Kwisatz Haderach. I think that's what they're going to try and do. I'm predicting that. Some of you don't like my predictions. That's fine. And if we come to it next week and I was wrong on all of them, but I've been sort of right most of the way through, I'm going to say, told you so. Always trust me. Right. That's it for Wallach 9 and bullshit there. Now we have a lot of interlacing, retarded, wannabe Game of Thrones shit going on at Salusa Secundus. First, we have Desmond, Travis Fimmel's being named Bashar, which is basically super supreme general of all Imperial forces. Excuse me. That was what Vorian Atreides was during the War of the Machines. And he essentially has what looks like to me, they don't say it, but I'm saying it now, that's the Sardaukar. That's the beginning of the Sardaukar right there, according to this stupid show. Anyway, he's given full power to do whatever he wants to root out all threats against the crown, against the empire, against the Corrinos. And then there's a big party, and Slut Princess tries to leave. And apparently there's been no real fallout from her attempt at overthrowing her father. Or at least bringing shame to the family, because now they just have to watch her wherever she goes. During all this at the same time, Constantine's mom, a Bene Gesserit sister who has been out doing shit, she comes back I guess she's been summoned by Valia, and she's there to mess with Weak Strong's head and basically try and make good on or try and find a way to get the sisterhood back in the good graces of the Emperor. And Mark Strong still has a hard-on for her, and Queen from The Witcher isn't happy about any of this because, well, he did what an emperor does and what every emperor does. They have concubines in this universe, and they F them, and they make babies. Either way, she's there, and she's now more Game of Thrones bullshit in here where she's going to be politicking. Let's see what happens next. We've got fake Baron, whose name I don't know, is going to try and go to Desmond Hart, Travis Fimmel, and say, listen, I'm sorry for what I did. Let me help you. Here's a bunch of traitorous terrorist smugglers that you can find to get all the information you need on the plots. And it's basically him doing doing Valia's bidding to try and manipulate and get Desmond Hart shamed or out of control or put in a position of weakness. I don't know. It's all bullshit, all boring, all lame-ass wannabe Game of Thrones bullshit, copying original Dune stuff. It hurts the brain to do it. Right. So at one point you've got Slut Princess and Thirst Trap Constantine, basically him apologizing. I'm sorry I couldn't side with you, but Daddy was going to give me praise, so I sided with Daddy. Yay, he's got daddy issues. Fantastic. During all of this, you've got fake Atreides is going to first insult Thirst Trap Constantine over his lack of training and lack of basically lack of desire to do anything but drink and F, because that's something that even Weak Strong says earlier. All Constantine wants to do is F and mess around while he's walking down the halls with his concubine sister, who he still wants to bend over the railing and take right now. Either way, so after Fake Trades and Constantine have a thing, Fake Trades goes to see Bene Gesserit Fremen chick who is not a terrorist, but actually manipulating everything so that the terrorists can weaken the crown and balance and blah, blah, blah. She's setting up bomb traps, getting ready. So Travis Fimmel, when him and his proto-Sardaukar come to get her, blow them all up. So Fake Trades decides to stay and help out. So when Travis Fimmel and his pseudo-Sardaukar come around, they have talking, and Fake Trades kills a bunch of guys, and he sets the bombs off, and there's explosions. Travis Fimmel survives, and they don't know. Fremen wannabe chick is going to go and tell Valia, I need to get out of here. But Valia says, great, I'm going to send you here back to Arrakis. And now suddenly, Fremen's sister chick says, I'm not going to betray my people a second time. Because suddenly her character development has been so great that she's going to actually have a twist. That's the problem with this show. These characters have had no development, and the characters that have gotten development are bastardized versions of what is actually set down in written lore. Do we understand the problems here? Anyway, so while Fake Trades is off with fake sister Fremen chick trying to blow up Travis Fimmel and the Proto-Sardaukar, who they do blow up all those guys too. Surstrap's Constantine discovers the map that Fake Trades put together for the assassination attempt. So now he realizes, oh, I have a tool with which to do this. And it will all set up to the fact that Weak Strong is looking for an excuse to please baby mama's sister, who told him, why don't you give Constantine some real responsibility. It'll help him grow. And Constantine now takes that chance to get that favor by turning in Fake Trades, who's arrested and gets put in the hover prison that we saw a couple episodes ago. And then that's kind of it, where everybody's now manipulating everybody, and Weak Strong has a dinner party where they announce they've arrested Fake Trades, and Constantine's gonna be fleet commander, and concubine wife she's happy, and queen from the Witcher, she's unhappy, which leads her to then go to see Desmond Hart, Travis Fimmel, and basically tell him how awesome he is and how they're going to root out and destroy the sisterhood. Meanwhile, Mark Strong is bending concubine over the rail, and then Queen from The Witcher is going to F Desmond Hart as he tells her why he hates a sister so much, because he was born from a sister and abandoned to be orphaned. And then you got Slut Princess goes to see Fake Trades while he's hovering in gravity jail, and she goes, the truth, I need to know the truth thing, because truth saying is all the sisters are good for according to stupid dough. They got to do the truth-saying thing where she says, why did you do this? Why did you try to kill my family? Tell me the truth. I love you. I didn't kill anybody because I love you. I love you. And she's going to help him because he loves her. And that's it. That's everything. I may have missed a couple small things here and there, but what does it matter? I just detailed it all out for you in a few minutes without the long, drawn-out bad acting, bad writing. Although I will give credit to Little Brown Girl, who's the Abomination, Proto-Abomination. She does a good job when she's being Raquella. She does well there. It's okay. She actually performs pretty well, better than her performances as her actual character. Either way, this show is long and boring, and we got one episode to go. And you know what? Nothing has properly been set up. Characters have not been properly even delved into, and nobody is actually leaning in towards some sort of massive conclusion to anything. It's like there's no story here. All we have is the sisters are butting heads with Travis Fimmel and his Proto-Sardaukar, and Queen for a Day from The Witcher doesn't like her, and Mark Weak Strong is not a strong emperor, and he ends up just wanting to bang his former concubine, who's a sister, who manipulates everything due to Valia's wishes, and it's all ridiculous and boring. I mean, I'm making it, maybe I'm being a little hyperbolic here and there, but that's essentially the show. Nothing's going on. Everything moves at a snail's pace without even a proper slow burn. I like a good slow burn. But this is worthless, and it's boring, and it's stupid. And it's breaking lore left and right. And we'll see if my predictions all come true next week when we put an end to this. Thank God. 6 episodes. I'm glad it's just 6 episodes. I don't want to do this anymore. It's not even fun to roast it. I just ramble on through it. There's nothing to make fun of. It's just bad. It's one thing to make fun of something and roast it and break it down for it being shit, but it's another just to watch this and realize, wow, this is just stupid. I can't even make fun of this. They don't even do anything to make fun of. That's how boring it is. Either way, we're done. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next week. Until then, take it easy. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.